You know, a book I've been reading recently is The Creative Act by Rick Rubin, right? Rick Rubin is a very accomplished producer who's well known for not knowing how to do anything when it comes to actually producing or engineering. But he's known for curating some of the best albums of all time. The Black Album by Jay-Z, Yeezus by Kanye West. I can go on and on, right? Um, some of Mac Miller's projects was made there. If you liked it, Yeats ADL had a curation from Rick Rubin, or was made at his studio, Shangri-La. But one lesson I've taken, which I've noticed in art in general, is the idea of creating before you judge a piece. A lot of artists are perfectionists. A lot of artists are perfectionists. I know this because I'm an artist, right? I feel like creative blocks often come from letting the critic enter too early into ourselves. Creation and judgment need separate rooms. First, make the thing, then refine it. A lot of us try and do this thing where we're trying to edit as we're working on our piece and refining and trying to be the refiner, the critic, as we're working on it instead of just being the creator. And it backfires so hard when you need to just allow yourself to just create first and then come to refine it later. A lot of creative blocks come from judging the work before it even has a chance to exist. I think one of the easiest ways to kill an idea is to judge it while it is still being born. The first version is meant to be raw. Why do you think so many songs with artists that have leaked files, most times that they leak, the version that leaks is the first version that says rough or raw or rough, whether it's RUFF or ROUGH. The first take, the first draft, the first melody, the first video, the first paragraph, the first initial pieces of painting is not supposed to be final. It's not supposed to be perfect. It's supposed to exist. In art, there's no such thing as perfection, by the way. Some of the most iconic songs of all time got issues in engineering. Like, look at, I think Sycamore, there's a click somewhere. Oh, no, Yosemite. One of those songs on Astral, there's some kind of click and stuff like that, right? A seed does not look like its final tree. The first version is not the verdict. It's the material that you created initially. We need to start doing these. I started doing this thing where whenever I made a song, I purposely I don't listen to it until besides like when I first make it, I don't listen to it again until like I'm back in the creative session ready to listen to it again. So I can know, okay, this is all I want to upgrade to it. Because it takes away when you try to edit it the same day and try to add all these things the same day. You can't edit what you never make. If you never let yourself create the rough version, there is nothing to improve. You can't refine silence. You can't mix a song you never recorded. You can't refine a blank canvas. You can't refine a piece of clothing if you never made the first version. And I mean make the first version. Like, it's there physically. You can't edit a video you never made. The critic cannot refine what the creator was never allowed to just live and make. A bad first version is still more useful than a perfect idea trapped in your head. Do you know how many songs that I've made that came from original ideas that I didn't like, and I just came back to it and I was like, maybe I could try something different with this. And I came with a different approach, upgraded the beat, did this, tried a new take, new verses, and I love the song that came up afterward. Why? Because I let go of trying to do this thing where I was trying to refine every single thing at the same time right after creating or as I was making it. I should have been like, I'm just going to create and just create. And then whenever it's time to refine, it's time to refine. We need to have times to create and refine. A bad first version is still more useful than a perfect idea trapped in your head. I promise you, I have so many ideas that sound wonky on my phone of songs. Like probably 200 probably, bro. You know what I'm saying? Creation and judgment need separate rooms. When you are creating, Just create. Don't worry about refining. Don't worry about your vocal take not sounding perfect. Don't worry about this piece not being perfect. Don't worry about this not being perfect. Don't worry about nothing not being the way that you envision in your head. But when you are reviewing, review. And I mean meticulously. Meticulously review until it is the version that you sculpted, until it is the Michelangelo, right? Keep sculpting, not Michelangelo. Keep sculpting until it's perfect to your ability, because perfection isn't a true concept. But if you let both happen at the same time, the critic will choke the artist. I love using this analogy, this story. Yeezus, right? I'll never stop talking about Yeezus. It's such a great piece of work. When Rick Rubin was initially played the version of Yeezus that was, I believe, called Thank God for Drugs at the time. I don't know if it was still called that around the time. Kanye had played him about 2.5 hours of just music. A lot of it having no verses or choruses, no vocals. A lot of it just being instrumental and maybe rough ideas and choruses, just mumble. You know how Kanye works if you know music. And Rick Rubin was like, man, this is incredible. When is this dropping? He was like, and Kanye, being Kanye, was like, oh yeah, man, this is dropping in like 3 days. And he was like, oh, Rick Rubin was like, oh, yeah, okay. Because it's like, what? Only Kanye, right? Only he would do some shit like that. Have an album and do in 3 days or however many days it was, or I think it was a week, either a week or 3 days. It was a short amount of time though, and it was a lot of music. And they sat there, and they went through, because keep in mind, this album has been made since post Cruel Summer, so 2011 to 2013. So he had that much music to work with throughout the years. So it was just refining and he'd already been removing songs that didn't mess with the music he played was just that. And that's where some of the most iconic songs from the album came from. New Slaves, Blood on the Leaves, Guilt Trip, Bound 2. Bound 2 was a whole different song. The refinement period made Kanye, around Rick Rubin, made Kanye make a whole new beat that became the beat that we all know and love today. Before that, it was an amalgamation of different beats. I think a version by Tyler, the Creator, the bridge with Charlie Wilson. The original verses, I think, were on the Tyler, the Creator version of the beat. And then eventually, within a short amount of time, he made the new chops. And it became iconic. One of the most iconic songs of all time. Bound 2. Beautiful song. The artist needs space, right? To just create. We need to give ourselves the space to create. The editor needs timing. You need to have a set times where you're editing and refining something. Don't try and create and refine and edit at the same time, because it's never going to work. It's never going to work. You're never going to finish it. Create first, refine after. I'm saying this because I've been making music for the better half of 5+ years, right? Like 7. I've judged flows too early. I've judged ideas too early, videos too early. But when I just let the thing exist first, I actually have something to work with. And that's something that, bro, it sucks because one thing that people don't understand, bro, is like, there have been so many songs I've wanted to drop, which I liked and would have been great stepping stones to get to where I wanted to be at the time. And I let it go now, but I'm just teaching a lesson. But my boy, one of my best friends, his problem is he's just like me. Like, he's great at video editing and all these things, but he's a perfectionist, bro. And I was just telling him, bro, let's just let's just have fun and just edit this release. But he is so meticulous with it that he has to have this perfect vision. And when he has his perfect vision, or whatever, man, I thought it spilled. When he has his perfect vision, it tends to get in the way of just releasing, bro. We could have had so many cool music video ideas just released if we just experimented and just had fun with it. But, he was just so meticulous and everything. He's so meticulous with things. And I'm just like, bro, we could just one take it. We don't have to do all these drastic things to like the album or the mixtapes when we actually get into like the actual song. Like, bro, this is just a single. I'm just trying to drop this. The singles are fun, bro, just to get myself out there more, right? But it's just it's the artist way of life. So that's why I'm giving this lesson. Like, bro, create first, refine after. Don't let the critic touch the seed you're sprouting. Please. Let the tree grow first and you can refine the branches. Simple. Love y'all.